So today we'll be going through one of the most incredible projects that you can possibly think about right now in existence. And, just like the way I was talking to a couple of people that are really very close to me, and I told them, they were like, Ada, we haven't been seeing much of you lately. You have been inside. And I told them, like, I took time, 6 years, to be able to create something that is super powerful, that can create generational wealth, that gives you peace, and most importantly, you are in control. Because that is what we are deficient of, especially for those who are looking for opportunities in this industry that we're participating with. And many people have had their own fair share of experience, like scams and stuff like that. So what can we do to be different? What can we provide that makes us stand out from what is out there? So what we have done in MagnumMeta is nothing to be compared to other. And I tell people, and I'm saying it out of every possible humble way, any system that is running right now that is not using the basic principles of what Magnum is doing, that should be a concern for you. Any platform that require you to go and put in money there and they're going to trade for you or do some sort of business for you, that is a red flag. Because I'll tell you something, at this time right now, all of the bad actors will leverage on the price increment and all of this excitement to create systems just to take from you. And I'm telling you, so one has to be very, very careful, knowing that where you put in your wallet, the opportunity you're participating with gives you the control. It gives you safety, it gives you transparency, right? So those are the key elements that you should look out for when being part of any opportunity right now, especially when there's so much hype right now. So now coming to what we'll be talking about today, we have the wealth management strategy. Basically, this is a program that is designed, in partnership with MagnumMeta, which is actually led by our ambassador here, Donatech. So he is the leader of this movement, which is the wealth management strategy. So basically, what this entire program is all about, or the strategy, is to empower individuals. And how we're able to do that is through innovative tools and knowledge that will enable you to take control of your financial futures. You really don't have to rely on anybody to create wealth. You really don't need to rely on, people promising you things that are not sustainable or that you're worried about, is this going to happen? You don't need to, like, we have gotten past that stage whereby you have to rely on people's promises or the decisions they make. The way this technology has evolved, it means that you are in control. You call the shot. And that is what makes a system incredible. So for those who are looking at financial, like those who are looking on how to, increase and actually empower themselves financially, now this is the tool. So what we do here basically is to leverage on technologies and proven strategies and modern financial trends to unlock wealth building opportunities like never before. Let me just present this so the entire screen goes in. So that is what we're doing. So we're leveraging on technology, emerging technologies. We're leveraging on proven strategies. When we started this industry, it was just basically an emerging technology. There was nothing to really, mirror. There were no events to actually see what this can possibly be like. It was basically based on, the potentials of the technology. Right now, we have events that we can measure. We have seen numerous events that we can actually see what the possible outcome can be. So right now, there are more of like results that we can actually measure or actually compare to see what the end result will be. So what we do here basically is to leverage on these technologies, the strategy, and modern financial trend to unlock wealth building opportunities like never before, okay? So it doesn't matter whether you're just starting your wealth journey or you're looking to enhance your financial growth, we provide the right roadmap to turn your aspirations into achievements. I'm moving to the next slide. So now, what is the WMS? So this is basically a dynamic approach to wealth creation that harnesses the power of global trends and disruptive innovation. So Through our program, we focus on educating and guiding participants to leverage on emerging technologies like blockchain. Now, I think when we think about blockchain, we all see blockchain as just one, one function, cryptocurrencies. But blockchain is still an emerging technology. Now, cryptocurrency has advanced. So the technology itself that powers this thing, this whole one aspect of the innovation, cryptocurrency has fully, it has fully blown out. People right now believe in it. But the technology basically is still an untapped industry, still an untapped innovation, and which we consider as an emerging technology. Now, the other part is we teach people how to leverage on decentralized finance system, which is DeFi, and also digital asset. So this helps build substantial, sustainable, and well-diversified world. So basically, our strategy is about simplifying the complex, empowering you to seize financial opportunities that are transforming the global economy. So right now that I'm speaking, let's go and remind people in the group. I think the stuff, the WhatsApp is working well. So I'm just going to take like 1 minute. I'm going to pause for 1 minute to invite people. Let's just go and invite people because I think WhatsApp is back. So just give me 1 minute and I'll come back to my training.
Sounds good, partner.
All right, just a minute.
So I wanted to run something by the group while you're doing that. Um, with regards to making a lot of money in the cryptocurrency space, if you thought about who are the people that have made the most money with the last two bull runs we've had, we look at 2017 and then we look at, 2020 into 2021. Um, you really think about the people that got into tokens that were cheap, obviously, and they got a large quantity of those tokens. And believe it or not, unfortunately, a lot of people who get into some of these tokens are malicious players in the space and they actually promote scams. That's one group of people. Now, none of us here are those types of people, and I can assure you that the way that people have to do it who are honest and who are looking to for a legitimate way to generate wealth from this wealth transfer is to purchase the right coins, the ones that go up exponentially in value. Now, the problem with that is I talked to a lot of people who made millions on paper, but they gave it all back because the market comes down very quickly. So there's a group of people who understand when to buy tokens and which tokens to purchase. But there's another group of people, investors, early adopters, who acquire tokens through earning them through being a developer for projects. So believe it or not, the group of some of the wealthiest people in this space are actually developers because they get paid in tokens and not just any tokens like meme coins or pump and dump tokens, but tokens that are part of a project. That's key. Tokens that are part of a project are given to developers as a way of compensating them. And when you look at MagnumMeta, what we're doing here is we are rewarding people right now for being part of the liquidity program. So that's how you make a lot of money in this space is acquiring tokens that are part of a project that's sustainable and that's disrupting a niche in this market. So I just wanted to give you guys that insight. This is the way that you make life-changing money is getting involved in things like MagnumMeta and being paid in tokens. That's where the real money is. That's where we're talking about legacy, generational wealth. So whenever my partner's done getting some more people on the call, we'll continue the presentation and we'll keep it going.
Yeah, so I am back. I have done a quick sorry guys, I've done a quick reminder in the group, and I think there's a delay in how the messages are being delivered. Okay, so thank you, partner, for coming in. Now, understanding what we do basically, like I said in the previous slide, is leveraging on emerging technologies, leveraging on blockchain technology and digital asset. But first, we're going to understand we're going to understand what are global trends. So, but before I go there, I will say one thing. Our strategy is about simplifying the complex, empowering you to seize financial opportunities that are transforming the global economy. So now, what are global trends? I think global trend is pretty much very easy to explain, but when we understand what global trends are, it's and how it can actually bring money directly into our pockets, then we know when to key into opportunities. So global trends are actually powerful forces, and what it does is to reshape industries, economics, and the way people live and work. So this is often driven by disruptive innovations and breakthrough technology. Now, this trend challenges traditional systems and create new opportunities for growth and wealth creation. Now, let's look at some of the the global trends we have right now. What are trending in the digital space or in the technology space? We have artificial intelligence. Now, right now, they are global, they are trending. But before right now, and I know everybody's talking about AI, but I don't think a lot of you guys know that AI has been existing way before now, that is now a global trend. There was a time when AI was basically a emerging technology or a potential technology. And those who understood the opportunity in AI, one way or the other, partner with AI providing companies or people who are developers. And right now is a global trend. And what does AI does basically automating tasks, enhancing decision making, and so many more things that you can do with the artificial intelligence or AI. Now, another global trend is blockchain technology. So when we talk about the blockchain technology, basically is actually providing, or the global trend basically is just tied to the cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin right now doing over $100,000. In fact, this evening it went to $101,000, right? So the blockchain right now, like I said in the previous slide, is still an emerging technology, and which provides security, decentralization, and for transactions. Now, the next global trend, which is everywhere right now, you can see there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of excitement, is the digital economy. Now, what this means basically is that transitioning anything from physical to digital, like commerce, services, or assets, making them more accessible. So anything that you can think of in the physical space, you can also digitalize all of that in a digital economy. And talking about digital economy, you have things like Amazon, you have things like eBay, and the rest of them. So now these are global trends, but there was a time when they were just emerging technologies or even potential technologies that have not fully received mass adoption, as some has actually received, as most of them has actually received now. Now, let's look at some of the two key trends driving wealth creation today. Now, when we talk about wealth transfer, people think, I don't know what people really think wealth transfer is. Maybe they think money is going to move from somebody and it comes to them. That is not basically or typically how wealth transfer occurs. Wealth transfer occurs when an existing institution is being disrupted. And for those who don't understand what disruption means, disruption actually means, in a business way, means improving a particular services or enhancing a particular services. Just like the way we have the Uber. And before Uber, it was taxis. So for those of you in any part of the world, you need to, flag a taxi down when, and I know that we still have taxis now, but you have to flag a taxi down, or some people have to gather at a particular spot to, to be able to board a taxi and stuff like that. Now that has all changed, because what has this technology done? Uber has actually disrupted an entire system. Remember that the market, the clientele is already there. So it means that has a huge market. So what Uber did was to actually disrupt that by creating a system that enhances the experience of the consumers of the old existing system. So at that point, what happens is that they have disrupted the system, and money will flow from the old system into new system. So now when we look at the key trends driving wealth today, I want you to understand that there were times when there were just potentials, right? There were times when there were just innovations, there were just ideas, right? And there were people who were able to buy into those stages. Remember that everything you're seeing right now that is trending had their own various stages. Now, let's look at some of the key trends right now that is driving wealth. We're talking about wealth transfer. How can you transfer wealth and how can you be part of the wealth transfer? And some of that transfer comes to you. Now, we have one of them, which is the digital asset. So basically, these are new form of value like cryptocurrency, tokenized real world assets, and the likes of them. Okay, so that is one way, and we have seen that happen. Now we have the next one, which is decentralized finance, which is the DeFi. So basically, what DeFi does is redefining financial systems. And what it does is offering open peer-to-peer solutions for borrowing, lending, earning high returns, all without traditional bank or middlemen. So what the DeFi basically is doing is disrupting an existing system, is disrupting the financial system. But the key is that these two trends are one of the biggest way that you can transfer wealth to yourself by keying into these trends. And I'll tell you as we move forward. Now, so by leveraging on these trends, individuals can tap into new world and new growing opportunities to create sustainable wealth in a rapidly changing world. Now, let me move to the next slide. So now what are digital assets? I'm sure we already understand what digital assets. We have examples of them like cryptocurrencies, and example of cryptocurrency, we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB, the MetaForge, and so many of them. Now, digital asset, you also have tokenized asset. So this basically means that digital products or real physical product that you actually storing in a digital space or in a tokenized way, and which can be real estate or art. And we also have NFTs, which stands for non-fungible tokens, right? So now this is one aspect of digital assets. So when you think about digital asset, it means that your focus should not only be on cryptocurrency like the Bitcoin and the rest of them. Digital asset is anything, it can be recreated in the digital world. So digital asset is not just limited to only thing we know, but it's actually a broad topic. It's a broad asset that actually covers a lot of things. So now we'll move to the next one, which is the decentralized finance. Now, what is DeFi basically? Now, DeFi stands for decentralized finance and is a new way of managing money that removes the need of a traditional bank or financial institution. So what it means is that this DeFi is one of the most lucrative way. It actually means that you are your own bank. You control everything. You can actually create a lot of wealth by leveraging on the decentralized finance. Now, the DeFi has a market cap right now of over $117 billion. And the DeFi was actually created. In fact, the first DeFi was about in 2021, 2021, and the first one was actually Uniswap. And you can see in a space of 4 years, this particular part or this particular industry in the entire cryptocurrency has actually done, currently as I'm speaking to you right now, $117 billion. And it's still an emerging idea or emerging technology in this industry we currently play in. So what can you do in the DeFi system? It means that anything that you can do in a traditional banking system, you can do it in a decentralized finance system. Just like lending and borrowing directly to users, basically what it means is that it takes away the middleman out of the equation. Also trading platforms, so you can trade without any middleman, and also high returns on investment through staking and liquidity. So you can make a lot of money here, okay? So now you want to think of DeFi as a global financial system run by smart contract. So DeFi doesn't limit you to how you can participate. You can participate anywhere in the world, okay? It does not matter which part. It is not limited by jurisdiction, just like the way you have the financial system. I'll give an example. Someone here in Nigeria cannot easily go and have a bank account in the Bank of America, or even as much as what you call the Chase Bank. It's difficult because there are so many limitations to that. But the DeFi kind of finance system allows anyone to participate. So this is actually a global finance system that anyone can be part of, okay? And what makes it very, very unique that it is transparent, it's accessible and efficient. It actually executes conditions and you are in control of the entire process. So this basically means financial freedom where you are in full control, just like I had mentioned. Now, let's get the difference between DeFi and CeFi. I think one of us is pretty very clear. Now, the first difference between DeFi and CeFi, and I'm telling you guys, when we talk about wealth transfer, and when we started talking about Bitcoin many years ago, at least I have been fortunate to see about two consecutive, if not two or three consecutive of Bitcoin halving and the bull season. When we were talking about this, I'm telling you guys, nobody believed what we were saying. When we're talking about Bitcoin and the potential of what it was, nobody understood what we were saying. In fact, there were no things to measure the success of Bitcoin. We all believed in the potential of what Bitcoin would be like. And today, Bitcoin has actually, and I'm sure, partner, you can remember, there was a time whereby we kept on teaching Bitcoin was going to get to $100,000. There was a time that was the topic. But while we were saying that, there were times when Bitcoin went as high as 20,000 and came down to 3,000, guys. But the point is that today Bitcoin is doing over 100,000. And what am I trying to say is that when we talk about opportunities that you can invest in, that you can partake right now, I'm telling you this for free, key into it because it's a win-win for you. It is a win-win for you. And that is the power of DeFi. Because right now, I'm telling you, in 4 years, DeFi has actually amassed 117 billion. Imagine what is going to be in the next 4 years, because that is the future of finance. It takes away all of the issues and bottlenecks you would experience in the traditional financial system. Now, let's look at the key difference. Now, here I have about 5 points here. Number one is control. The DeFi allows you control your money. You hold your money. And that is why I said at the beginning of this presentation, if you're part of any business that you're not in control, that they tell you have to put in your money somewhere and they're going to do all of this miracle, I'm telling you, it's time to walk away from those systems. It is time to walk away from the system because I'll tell you one thing. The red flags are always very clear, but most times we choose, or maybe like I say greed, we blind our eyes to those red flags. And I'm telling you from experience. So when you think about DeFi, DeFi gives you full control. So you want to be sure that anything you're participating in, you are in full control of the entire process. It means that you call the shot because that is how DeFi is all to work. Now in decentralized finance, unlike DeFi, people determine, they hold your money. They make the decision for you. They are in control. And that is why from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, they tell you to what extent you can participate and you cannot participate, right? So it means that you are being controlled by a certain group of people. Now, another feature is access. Now, the DeFi is open to anyone. This is your bank. You can run your bank from anywhere and earn transaction fees. Now, tell me what can really beat that? When you're part of a decentralized finance system, you are automatically your own bank. You put in your money, the system will transact on your behalf because you're telling them, you know what, I have my money here. I want you guys to be able to help me execute these transactions. And guess what? Pay me the transaction fees. You are your own bank. So it doesn't matter wherever you are. You can be in Dubai, you can be in Asia, you can be in Europe, you can be in the South. It doesn't matter. You have access to any DeFi system. Now, but when it comes to centralized finance, guess what? They need your KYC. In fact, most times they even need your ancestor certificate, if that is possible. So those are some of the issues with the CeFi. Now, someone's going to ask me, yes, we need KYC because of, theft, money laundering, and all of that. Absolutely. That is true. I'm not disputing that, right? But the point is that the DeFi with the technology backing that can actually execute all of this while being anonymous. Now, the next one is transparency. Transparency in the DeFi means that it is fully transparent and with open ledgers. You can see every single thing. You can verify every transaction on the DeFi platform. But on the centralized finance system, you cannot. There's limited transparency. It is controlled by institutions. They tell you what you want to hear. You never know what is going on. It's just, for example, like, the issue with Heritage Bank and, whatever happened to it. Shall I tell you the truth? 3 months to when the CBN announced that, the people internally knew what was going on. But guess what? Their marketers were out there telling you to bring in deposits. You see how crazy centralized systems are. They were out there. And I'm telling you, what is 3 months? 6 months. This institution knew that was going to be the outcome. They knew where they were headed. But guess what? They open business. They tell you what you want to hear. You keep depositing your money in it. And boom, it happened. Because they actually control what they tell you. They are in control. They tell you what you want to hear when you have no idea what is going on behind the scene, right? Now, the next one is intermediaries. No intermediaries, pair to pair. It means that we transact freely in a DeFi space. Because whether you want to believe it or not, when you go to the bank to transact, right, there's a middleman. So if, for example, I want to go into treasury bills and stuff like that, there is a middleman. Like, it goes through so many layers of processes before that investment will eventually be executed. But in DeFi, that is out of the way. You go in, you interact with it directly, and you get your dividends directly without any ambiguity. Now, in the CeFi, like I explained, multiple intermediaries involved. Now, the most exciting part is the returns. You can make so much money in the DeFi space. I am telling you guys, you can actually create so much money, like wealth in the DeFi space. And you know why? Because it's still an emerging, even at $117 billion right now, is still an emerging innovation that you need to key into. No questions asked. Because I'll tell you one thing, you're not part of DeFi now. Next year, 2026, 2027, 2028, you realize this is one of the biggest industry ever that has emerged from this technology that we keep talking about. Now, in the CeFi, guess what? Returns are pretty very low. And I'll give you an example. When you go, you think about the cost of the branches of the bank of over 5,000 staff. They have to pay all of those people. They have to remit money. The legislators and the government come to the bank and swipe. There is something wrong. And that is why the fees or what you get are pretty very low. You get nothing. Now, with the CBN increasing the interest rate to 27, I think about 27.5% in September. But guess what? Guess what? Our inflation rate projection is that it will hit about 36% by the end of this year. So what is that doing for you? Now, even for you to participate even in treasury bills, you need a minimum of 50 million naira. That is somewhere about maybe like $35,000 to be able to even get up to 10 to 15%, right? So that is for you to understand that this DeFi is the future. That is where every single person wants to key in and create wealth. And I'm going to explain to you why this is possible, So basically, the DeFi empowers individual. So what we do is to show you how to unlock the potentials of DeFi and grow your wealth. All we're all about is how to grow your wealth. Now, I haven't spoken extensively about the DeFi. Now, let's look at the disruptive global trends. Now, the first one I'm going to take is the evolution of money, and that is Bitcoin. Bitcoin has disrupted the financial system. In fact, it has disrupted the fiat system or the monetary system. Because what it has done, it has actually revolutionized the entire financial landscape. And basically, it has challenged traditional systems with decentralization and digital alternative. And there are many reasons why Bitcoin is a preferred choice. Now, when we tell people that in a space of 1 month, over $1 trillion has come into the crypto market, people are wondering why. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the traditional financial system has constantly failed people. Why would I put my money in a financial system that provides me little to minute interest when I can put it in a better system, a better system that I have control, that provides me more safety? And guess what? I can do 20% in one day. I can do 50% in one day. Tell me, what is a better alternative? Now, people are going to talk about, yeah, gold is a good alternative. No doubt, gold is great. But can you carry your gold and move up and down? No, you can't. So that is why Bitcoin or cryptocurrency would always be a preferred choice. It will always be a preferred choice. And best believe when I tell you guys, 7 trillion minimum is entering this space. And you know why? It's because the traditional monetary system is failing people. And you can see right now, institutions right now are actually offering Bitcoin ETFs. And we have that in the United States. We've not even talked about Europe starting that. We've not talked about Asia starting their own ETFs and stuff like that. What would that tell you? Money is going to be transferred. And that is an example of what wealth transfer is. Now, you know one thing I want you to let you guys know. When wealth transfer is actually taking place, you want to be in line, because that is the way that this money can come to you. The money will flow to you. Now, back in the days when I was talking about Bitcoin, now many of my colleagues, and I'm telling you guys, for those who know me writing from my financial days working in the bank, they have seen me, they have seen my progress. In fact, every single one of them knew when I actually came into this industry. Many of them knew, and many of them have seen my life change, because at the time of when the wealth was transferred, I was in line. And right now, I'm telling you, you have that opportunity to be that. Bitcoin right now is more of a storage of value. There was a time Bitcoin was accessible where you can come into Bitcoin and you're going to make tons of money. That is not for anybody who is trying to get started or create wealth. Bitcoin right now is now a store of value. And this is what we predicted when at the onset, when we're talking about Bitcoin and the potentials. It is one of the most reliable. And just like I was giving an example of gold, yeah, gold is a great one, right? Now, between the gold capital market and the Bitcoin capital market, the difference is just about 1 trillion. That is the difference between the gold capital market and the Bitcoin market cap. It is just 1 trillion, right? But the thing is that with Bitcoin, you can take it everywhere, right? You can take it everywhere. It is easy to move. You can move with it if you want. So that is the great thing about Bitcoin. Okay. So now, how is Bitcoin disrupting the existing system? I think in the process of me talking, I've explained that. Number one, decentralization. So it operates independently of government and banks, leveraging blockchain technology. But I'll tell you one thing, before Bitcoin got to this point, Bitcoin received a lot of pushbacks, and I'm sure many of you guys were familiar with it. In fact, I'm going to tell you something. Days when government are actually, talking and fighting and, putting out statement against Bitcoin, I had people send me a message and tell me, oh, Ada, I am worried about you. This is what they are saying. They never come to me when the Bitcoin is doing up. Only when there's a bad news, then they come to me and say, oh, this is what is happening to Bitcoin. But I told them, no, that is how greatness is being, that is how greatness emerges. It has to go through those drawbacks to become the great thing it is today. And right now we are seeing government being part of it right now. And you can just imagine only with the United States ETF, you can imagine when Asia peaks, you can imagine when Europe, you can imagine Africa. Tell me, guys, what do you think this industry is going to become? Now, the next one, no intermediaries. Anyone can interact when it comes to Bitcoin. Limited supply, capped at 21 million. Capped at 21 million, which is safeguarding against inflation. Meaning that because of the finite supply of Bitcoin, the finite supply, That is why you are seeing what you're seeing today. So Bitcoin is much more than a coin or a regular coin you're seeing there. There are mechanisms behind the technology that drives the value that you're seeing today. The next one is global access. So anyone can be part of it. In fact, you can take your money lightly. All you need is your mobile phone, and you can take your money lightly with you anywhere you go. Yeah, so something my partner here has written, he said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and guess what? You win. And that is what Bitcoin has done. Right now, Bitcoin, just as we predicted, is now a store of value. So meaning that you can use smaller assets to win, and as you win and create this wealth for yourself, you can actually use them to acquire Bitcoin to store value. Now, let's look at the early impact of those who took advantage of Bitcoin. So the early Bitcoin adopters, when it was just still an emerging technology, a potential, disruptive potential, they have actually earned remarkable returns. Remarkable returns. So now I'll give you an example. In 2009, if you had invested $100 in Bitcoin in 2009, right? And Bitcoin was about 0.001, $100. All you need to do is to wait 4 more years. And guess what? Your $100 will be about $12 million. If you had waited additional 4 more years, your $100 would have been giving you $1.9 billion. Tell me what financial instrument right now, I'm telling you, can make this happen in the traditional financial system. Tell me what financial services or portfolios they have that can do this. I worked with Profin, which is one of the biggest offshore investment advisory company in the whole of Africa. And best believe that we were very competitive and as what we give as return and ROI and all of those great and interest rates. But no way ever could we even do anything close to what this particular asset could do or has done. Now, if you had had that 100 Bitcoin up to 2021, guess what? You'll be sitting at $6.4 billion. If you had left your $100, right now, I'm telling you, you'll be sitting at $10 billion. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that there was a time when Bitcoin could make you rich. It is not now. So it means that you need to find an alternative that can make you rich, and you can use Bitcoin as your store of value. And you can see why I'm talking about Bitcoin, because what Bitcoin is designed for right now is store of value. So if you want to get rich and create wealth, Bitcoin is not what you should be doing. And I'm telling you, from someone who was preaching about Bitcoin many years ago, for those who know me know the truth. I spoke about this thing every single time. So your $100 in 2009 would have given you 100,000 Bitcoin. $100 that many people would have spent in just by sitting in a place. $100,000 in 2009 in Nigerian currency was anywhere about 14,000 naira. Now look at what that could do for you. Now let's look at another one again, which is another disruptive innovation, which is the Brave browser. Remember, we're talking about disruptive innovations. We're talking about global trends that have disrupted existing system. And we talk about Bitcoin. And now we're going to talk about another exciting one, which is called the Brave browser. I'm sure many of you guys don't know this, or it's called the BAT, the BAT token, or which means Basic Attention Token. It is the utility token for the Brave browser. And what is the Brave browser disrupting? Digital advertising industry. So basically, the way you see YouTube, Facebook, you're watching something, and all of a sudden, an ad comes in between it, you watch it, YouTube makes money, and the content creator makes a tiny fraction from that ad. What the Brave browser is doing is to disrupt it. This is a technology that is coming to change how we engage with content or ads. So it means that instead of just watching those ads, you will get rewarded with their basic attention token for their attention. Now, the Brave actually has a total supply. Sorry, the basic attention token has a total supply of 1.5 billion tokens. Unlike Bitcoin that has about 21 million tokens. So now the Brave basically is disrupted. And I want you guys to understand how wealth is being transferred. Wealth transfer happens when systems are disrupted, providing more efficient solution, giving more people opportunity to participate, and giving everyone an equal playing ground. That is what next level disruption is all about. And that is how wealth is being transferred. So the Brave browser basically is disrupting the entire digital advertising industry. And this has actually, the Brave token has been there since 2017. Now, another thing they do in Brave token is monetization of users' attention. So you get compensated by viewing policy respecting ads. Okay, now this will create direct economy where users' attention is valued and rewarded. You know, I see many people spending millions of hours on social media, and you're just generating wealth for people. Now, there's nothing wrong in that. But how about you spending or getting a share of that? Because what happens at these big industries keep milking people. Meanwhile, this money they make can be shared to most of the people that drives that money to them. That is what the Brave browser is doing. Now, let's assume you invested $100 in 2017, right? $100 in the Brave, in the basic attention token, which is the utility token for the Brave browser, right? In 2021, that would have given you $5,300 because what happened is that between 2017 and 2021, the basic attention token grew over 5,333%. So it means that if you invested $100 in 4 years, that will give you $5,000. Guys, tell me, in fact, there is no investment tool in the traditional financial system that can give you this kind of returns with just $100. Tell me, guys. Now, based on the projection of the basic attention token, which is the BAT token, by 2025, if you've invested $100, that should give you $41,665. If you invested $1,000 in the basic attention token in 2017, right? By 2021, you should be earning about $53,000. And based on the projection, by 2025, that should give you $416,000. This is what we talk about disruptive innovations. This is how wealth is being transferred. And I'll tell you one thing, the wealth is not only going to be transferred by one event. It means that over and over and over and over time, wealth will keep coming to you as they keep disrupting this innovation. That is what you guys need to understand about wealth transfer and how you can key into the next thing. Now, the Brave browser with 1.5 billion tokens, that is why you're seeing this figure. If the Brave browser had a smaller token in supply, that would have done, all these figures you have seen would have done times 10. Okay? So if you have invested $100 in basic attention token, you would have gotten 2,777 basic attention token. And if you invested $1,000, you have about 27,777 basic attention token, right? And I want you guys to understand how incredible disruptive innovation is and how it can bring money directly to your pocket. Like, I believe nobody has any business being broke. With what is happening with technology, with ideas, with innovations, you have no business being broke. Now, let's look at the next token that will disrupt an entire system. In fact, two systems, and it's going to drive wealth directly into your pocket. Like I said, Bitcoin right now is a store of value. So you want to leverage on asset that can generate you so much wealth, and you can actually take some of them and put in Bitcoin to store value. I am telling you guys, that is what you guys need to actually focus on right now. And that asset is called the MetaForge token. Now, with a total supply of 110 million deflationary mechanism. And what a deflationary mechanism means that it bonds itself over time. And I'm going to show you guys a proof. The token was built 110 million as the total supply. But right now, if you can see in this chart here, the supply has reduced, which makes it 109 million, 109.98 million. Meaning a deflationary means that it bonds itself over time. It reduces its supply over time. And when you understand the law of economics or the law of demand and supply, that will give you an idea that this token has every potential to do $5 in the nearest time possible. And this is how to create wealth. These are tokens that can create you wealth. And now we're going to look at how this token, what is disruptive. It has to disrupt something to keep creating wealth, because it's not only about 2025. 2026, you're making money. 2027, you're making money. 2028, that is how it should work. But for that to be sustainable, it has to be providing a service. It has to be disrupting existing system, or rather enhancing an existing system. So the MetaForge is disrupting the traditional financial system and educational system, meaning how we transact, how we save money, and how we learn. I'll give you an example of the Brave browser. By them disrupting the normal way Google, Chrome, and the likes of them provide services, right? Brave browser has brought wealth to those who key to their idea at the very beginning. So everyone who keyed at the very beginning of the Brave browser, they are in profit. They are in profit. And that is what you ought to do, right? Now, the MetaForge is the first educational and finance platform which enables creators to earn while learners enjoy cutting-edge content and earning opportunities. Meaning on this platform, the educators are learning and the educators are earning and the students are earning. Meaning that the time I use to learn, I get paid. So I'm actually getting access to high quality content, skills that will actually upskill me, skills that makes me very competitive in my industry or where I currently play in. And guess what? I earn every single time I'm engaging with content, with the courses. Tell me what can actually beat that? Is value for value. Now, what makes MetaForge the greatest token ever that can drive your wealth so much is because of the low supply. 110 million is the maximum supply. 110 million is the maximum supply, which is already a deflationary mechanism. It burns itself down, right? So the token is designed to grow in value while empowering holders. Sorry, guys, I need to mute someone. While empowering holders through community-driven governance. So what will make MetaForge win? The supply. If the basic attention token, which is the Brave browser token with a 1.5 billion circulating supply, could actually do 5,000%. Now, a token that has only 10% of that is not even up to 10%, less than 10%, about 8% of that. And not only that, it is a deflationary mechanism. Now, tell me, guys, what can this token do? Do the math yourself, right? So all of this is designed to make you win. Now, what else is it disrupting? The traditional financial system. Now, you have some of them like Udemy, Coursera. Those are great, but they are all centralized and they all come with issues. But what Magnum is doing is to create the next generation blockchain-powered marketplace that pays you to learn. For every time you engage with resources, you are making money. You are actually learning from the best of the best you can think of in the world. But it doesn't just end there. You are making a lot of money learning. It becomes worth your time. And that is how you build a knowledgeable economy, right? So whether it's an institution, independent creators, anybody can leverage on this solution. Now, it might excite you to know that this industry alone, which is the learning industry, is over $200 billion, guys. It is such a very huge and lucrative industry that just by you being part of this system, I'm telling you, you would see wealth transferring from existing system straight into your pockets, because that is the whole idea here. Now we have the conventional savings. How is the metaphor disrupting that? And I give you an example of the traditional finance system. Why would you want to settle for 1 to 5% annual interest rate? Why would you want to settle for that when you can be your own bank and earn transaction fees? You can earn 0.25% on transaction fees by being your own bank, guys. And not only that, you can earn additional up to 0.275% daily. This is the life you always wanted. This is what wealth is all about. And all of this is possible through this technology. For once, you don't have to worry about, is this thing going to last? How sustainable is this? That is all out of the way, because you are in control. You are your own bank. You call the shots. That is what this metaphor is doing. It's putting power in your hands. So they're disrupting two incredible systems, which is the conventional way you actually save or make money, or the interest ridiculous. Ridiculous. I feel they even mock us with the interest rate they give. You can leverage on this solution, right? Now, let's move to the next slide. Let's move to this next slide. Now, we're going to look at the staking calculator. How do you create wealth for yourself? Now, I talked about being your own bank, and this is exactly what being your own bank is all about. In the DeFi platform, you can be your own bank. You decide how much you want to get started in your own financial market. And once you do that, you put your money, you invest or deposit your money, you will start earning per transaction. You're able to earn up to 0.25% for every transaction that occurs. That is a win-win for you, right? Now we'll move to the next one, which is the yield farming. Basically means staking. So it means that after you have deposited your money and you are earning from the transaction fees that occurs, guess what? You can make more money by staking. This has nothing to do with the fees you're earning. So it means that the moment you decide to open your bank and put in your money to be earning these transaction fees, what you received on the exchange, you bring it and you stake it here. And guess what? This is what we call passive income. Because the whole idea is that you don't need to carry, for example, I told you if you invested $100 in Bitcoin, and all you had to do is hold that $100 from 2009 to this point to be able to get $10 billion, let's assume, which we know is not possible. Not many people did that. But imagine a system whereby you can buy 100,000 MForge, and it tells you, you know what, deposit this money, meaning that you're locking up that money, but guess what? It will keep paying you more and more money. So it means that your capital is intact, but you will earn more and more money. So at the time of when you want your capital, it is still whole. You know why? Because as of the time when Bitcoin was created, the DeFi solution was not available. It wasn't available. So for those who are coming right now, you have the opportunity to leverage on this DeFi and use these tools to create wealth for yourself. The solution we provide allows you to earn twice. You earn from your bank, depositing money there, you earn for transaction fees, and you also earn from staking. Now, I'm going to show you guys an example. A staking calculator. So if you invest $100, you will receive 13 M-Forge every single day, right? And every month that will give you 390, and yearly that will give you 4,680. If you sell, you get $1.3 daily. In a month, $39. In a year, $468. At $1, you earn $13 daily, $390 monthly. Yearly, 4,680. At $5, that will earn you $65 daily, monthly, 1,950, and yearly, 23,400. You invest $500, that means you're getting 63 M for every single day. In a month, 8,890. In a year, 22,680. And that will give you $6.3 daily, $198 monthly, $189 monthly, and $2,268 yearly. At $1, that will give you $63 daily. In a month, 8,890. In a year, 22,680. At $5 daily, that will give you $315. In a month, $9,450. In a year, $113,000. At $1,000, you invest $1,000. That gives you 127 M-Forge daily. In a month, 3,810. In a year, 45,720. That gives you $12.7 daily. In a month, 381. In a year, 4,572. At $1, that gives you $127 daily. In a month, 3,810. In a year, 45,720. At $5, $635 daily, monthly $19,050, yearly $228,600. At $5,000, you earn 635 M-Forge daily, monthly $19,050, yearly $22,600. That gives you $63.5 every day, monthly $1,905, yearly $22,860. At $1, that gives you $635 daily. In a month, $19,050. In a year, $228,600. At $5, that gives you $3,175. In a month, $95,250. And in a year, $1.143 million. Now, this is one thing I want you to understand. This is the power of DeFi. And your initial capital is still there. This is what we call passive income. So not only are you protecting your capital, remember, you're in full control of all of this. You are earning passive income. All of this income you see, I've showed you, they are spendable because the asset is already been listed, is already tradable. So you are making this money and it's spendable, meaning that you can spend it. That is what is incredible about that system. And I tell you, if DeFi was available in the time of Bitcoin, even in the time of the basic attention token, like I spoke, in the time of BNB, people will leverage on the solution. Because why would I want to sell a portion of my 100,000 Bitcoin? It means that I can keep 100,000, plug it into a system that I control. I create my own bank and put 100,000 Bitcoins, and I keep getting money somewhere else. And when I'm tired, I get my 100,000 Bitcoins out. Tell me what can be that. This is what we talk about, sustainable passive income. That you are in full control. You control every single thing. It is a trustless system. DeFi has gone ahead to create a system that will execute the conditions automatically. You don't need to trust the people who are speaking. And for those who have been part of systems that has actually taken their money, these are the solutions that one needs to leverage on. Because I can tell you, there is a lot of money in this crypto space. You just want to be part of the right project and take a portion of what is about to happen. 2025 will be such a big year. And I'm telling you, nobody has any reason to be broke after 2025 because this system, new money is actually coming into it. So how do you get started? First, you want to download your Trust wallet. You want to go to your App Store or your Play Store, depending on what device you're using. You want to download that. Then you fund your wallet. We recommend the minimum you should fund is $100. We have people doing $10,000. We have people doing $20,000, $50,000, $100,000. It doesn't matter. The point is you want to grow wealth. The strategy is you actually take your income to do 10x, 100x, 2000x, 5000x, all of those x. You have created wealth. Then you can take a huge chunk of it into the store of value. That is the strategy. That is how to create wealth. That is how to win in this industry. Now, after you have funded your wallet, the next thing you're going to do is to buy the M-Forge. You can buy it right now. It's listed on PancakeSwap, and it's going to be listed on so many other exchanges very soon. The M-Forge will be listed on so many other exchanges very, very soon, guys. So right now, you can purchase it on PancakeSwap after you have funded your wallet. Like I said, minimum $100, okay? And you want to also make room for additional $3 for BNB for your gas fees. And after you have done that, now go and create your own bank. You deposit your money on a DeFi platform to create your own bank. And guess what? For every transaction, they pay you fees. You're able to earn up to 0.25% on every trade. We have people who have done $20,000, and in a space of 3 months, guess what? They have made $8,000. Tell me, this is just only by them creating their bank, earning transaction fees. That is how powerful this system is. Super powerful. And I'm telling you, the money they've made, for example, the 8,000 is still very small. In fact, the way this program is designed, people can be making that entire $20,000 in a single day. In a single day. That is how powerful DeFi is. But like I said, timing is very important. You want to position yourself early on time. Because everything about crypto, this industry, the blockchain technology is all about timing. And you have seen it. You have seen Bitcoin. Right now, people are going to Bitcoin to make money. I'll tell you, you're just wasting your time. You're just wasting your time. Because it means that for you to get 200% of your $1,000, you have to wait for Bitcoin to get to $200,000 as of this time. Meanwhile, you can actually invest money and you will do 20 times what that will do for you. And you can take a portion of that and store in Bitcoin. That is how smart people operate here. Bitcoin is a store of value. And after you have deposited that and you're earning your 0.25% on transaction fees, guess what? You now amplify your earning by staking the LP tokens you received. And once you stake it, that is when you will see your income skyrocket. That is what we call sustainable passive income that you are in full control. Right now on our team, we have people who are making money. People are making a lot of money from MagnumMeta platform, making so much money. And I'm not capping. They are making money. This is a real project. This project is designed for you to win. You have no reason not to win, I'm telling you. If I could talk about Bitcoin when I did at the onset and it won, I'm telling you, this is a project that will win. And you need to key into it. No, people told me then, oh, I'm scared. I'm afraid. I'm scared of putting. Then how much do they need to put? 300,000. How much? 200,000. People were scared. The 200,000. Where is it today? What 200,000 could buy for you 8 years ago? It can't do that for you right now. So it means that you have been scammed. The scam you were scared of has just scammed you. But guess what? This asset has won. People who put $200,000, I can tell you right now, if they've left their asset right now to this very moment, and they're like, you know what, $200,000, I'm going to blow, let me just put it here, I'll just forget it. If they've done that, when I start talking about Bitcoin, I can tell you right now, they are nothing less than, they are what? Nothing less than $1 million. So an opportunity right now is knocking for you. Like I said, you want to get rich. Many of us, we have to wait every four years for this event, which is going to happen in 2025, the bull season. We wait every 4 years. Right now, you guys are joining the eve to the year. And I'm telling you, key in right now. Choose the winning asset. You will see by this time next year, you would have seen them and a lot of work you must amass for yourself. So now that brings me to the end of this presentation. I know I've spoken for so long, but I wanted to make sure I drive the message home. I wanted you guys to know that there's really nothing to be afraid of. Every time technology keeps advancing, and this is the most advanced system you can get right now, considering what is in the market right now. That gives you control. You can make tons of money, guys, tons and tons of money. And once you've made that money, you can now move into storing the value. Okay. So that brings to the end of presentation. I'm going to call on my partner here, John. John, are you there? So you can take it from here.
Yes, wow, incredible. Thanks, partner. I just want to wrap up and just talk to everybody real quickly who's on the call. Thanks for being here, everybody. We value your time, and I know that we're all winning together. I know since we released Metaforge onto the market, it's gone up over 220%, but that's just a drop in the bucket to where we're going. And if we look at if all of us here had a time machine, right? If we all could go back in time, then it would be the easiest way possible to become wealthy, the easiest way possible. Go back to 30 years ago, you could buy internet stocks that you knew were going to win. You could go back to just even 2010, 2009, and you could buy Bitcoin and you'd be a multimillionaire, if not a billionaire. Easiest way possible to get to become wealthy would be if we all had a time machine. But I could tell you something about what is happening right now. This is about as close as you can possibly get to having a time machine because so many of these technologies that we use, none of us have made millions off of them. We just found ourselves using them one day. We found ourselves using email one day. We found ourselves using social media. We found ourselves using the internet. But we started using those services because of the adoption that was taking place behind the scenes. And by the time we got a hold of it, sure, we may have used those mediums to create wealth or generate businesses. That's great. But I'm talking about the technologies themselves that came to fruition, appeared in our lives, and they disrupted trillions of dollars in different industries. But what we have before us today is about the closest we can come to having an actual time machine. Because what we are seeing is that the quote I put in the chat, first they ignore us, right? First they ignored Bitcoin, right? But the computer code still existed. The technology still evolved. Then they laughed at Bitcoin, but the computer code still existed. It was still running, and the blockchain still evolved. The technology still evolved. Then they fight us, right? Then they fight you. That's the next stage. Governments getting angry, rich old people getting upset because they already had the system figured out. They rigged the game. They had it all rigged for themselves. Now they're getting frustrated because they're seeing some of that wealth get extracted, right? And then we win. What's happening now, what we are seeing happening right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that governments are no longer figuring out how to make the rules for this technology, to make the rules for Bitcoin and everything else that is spreading as a result of that, the evolution of this space. Bitcoin is now causing those governments, those central authorities to bend the knee because they realize that this is different than anything that's happened. And why? Why is this different than anything that's happened in the history of our species? Very simple. Decentralization. Decentralization means that this is an unstoppable train. So what does that mean? It's unstoppable. What exactly does that mean? It means that trillions of dollars of centralized fiat currency that has essentially been counterfeited by central banks and inserted into the system, stealing our wealth, robbing our future generations of their purchasing power. Those trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars are coming home to roost. Those chickens are coming home to roost, as they say. And it's going to be transferred into this space, into the digital asset space. So all we've done is we've looked and said, which industries are going to be disrupted by this technology? Well, education, finance, two of the major ones. People are sleeping on education right now, besides MagnumMeta. We are not sleeping on education. We have carved out a niche, and all we have to do is absorb just a small piece of that pie, just a very small piece of that pie, and we will be set for generations. So please keep in mind, this is about the closest you can get to having a time machine is what we are doing right now. We are getting in front of the inevitable, the largest wealth transfer in the history of our species. This isn't once in a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. This is once in a species. This is once in multi generations. So please pay attention. Don't sleep on this. Stop thinking small. You have to think bigger. If you think you're thinking bigger, think bigger, because I can assure you that you are not thinking big enough. And right now is our opportunity. Right now is when we are going to be pioneers and look back and be able to tell our grandchildren that we positioned ourselves to be in front of the greatest wealth transfer in human history. And at MagnumMeta, we are positioning each and every one of us to win as big as we possibly can. Climb aboard the train because we are leaving. The train is leaving the station, and you have a ticket right now in front of you. Take advantage, get involved in the yield farming opportunity here, and start earning the MetaForge token. And I will see you guys at the top.